else coming. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and start. So first of all, thank you for coming out on a Saturday to be a part of this workshop. Everybody has gone through so much this past year, and we just wanted to be able to come up with some ways for you to be able to cope. This originally was my grief workshop, but we've expanded it to anxiety and depression because we feel like that's the most important thing right now. Yes, of course, we're experiencing loss because our lives have changed, but the symptoms we're having are anxiety and depression. So my name's Mary Lopusnak, and I am the founder of Nouveau Hope Counseling Center. And this is?
My name is Dawn Addison, and I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I have my own private practice, Healthy Minds and Healing Hearts.
So we're going to co-facilitate, co-host.
Co-host, we're co-hosting. I like that. I wanted to be a co-host. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. Oops. Okay. So the topics we're going to cover today are traditions versus what's realistic, self-care, and how to manage difficult situations. And for a homework assignment, because anyone that knows me, I always give homework, personal reflection. I just want to go over some of the reindeer game rules. So we have confidentiality. Confidentiality is, we can't guarantee it, but you guys can, because we don't want you to be talking in the community about things. Anyone that's had a group with me, I tell the story that there was some people in my group, small town, they went out to eat afterwards, and the ladies were saying, oh, I can't believe so-and-so's son did blah, 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 blah. That was the waiter. Okay? So you guys have to keep the confidentiality. We're creating a safe space here, but once you walk out these doors, then it's up to you. No judgment. Everybody has different belief systems, and respect other experiences and opinions that are different from your own. And one thing I want, because I'm going to ask you guys to participate, pain is pain. No one's pain is any greater. And then one person speaks at a time. I don't think we have any relatives or friends. But anyway, if we did, no one can speak for someone else. Okay? So I want each of you to pick a pattern that's up on the screen that represents how you're feeling about this holiday season or life in general. Mm-hmm. Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go as your co-host. I'll go. So I think, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like I'm the polka dots. And the reason I feel polka dotty is at this point, I'm feeling kind of chaotic, a little overwhelmed, and a little scattered, like those little dots. So That's kind of where I'm at. So hoping to get some calm and coping mechanisms going on.
Ashley?
Can they hear me if I have this on mute?
We can hear you, but they can't. So we can try.
Should I go outside?
No, go ahead. We'll see.
So I like California, Florida palm trees, because I like to get through the holidays, but I think there's a lot of bright colors still, so I try to still be pleasant about it, but I just need it to I'm waiting for the next year.
Could you guys hear her?
Yes.
Okay. So that's interesting that you use the through versus skipping it, you know, or avoiding it in some way. So yeah, most, crises that we have to go through it. We can't jump over it, go under it. We have to to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you find a bright side in it.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Very good.
Nice.
Okay, Adeline.
Take
So
it away.
I think that I am the bottom left, that first one. Like, and kind of like Dawn, I feel the same way where I feel scattered, overwhelmed. So it's a lot going on in that one particular pattern. It looks uniform. It looks like there's some type of, something's going on there. We're trying to keep it together, but it's a lot going on.
Okay. Sounds good. Kathleen?
Okay, so I'm the waves at the top,
Okay.
Oh,
sometimes making it to the end, sometimes breaking in the middle. And when I really have to perform, I make it to the end, but it's pushing myself as opposed to where I'm really feeling.
okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Good.
Very
Did you want to
nice.
share, Caitlin?
I could say the flowers on the bottom because they're all like really bright, but it's still kind of like messy and like chaotic also because I'm positive, but also kind of stressed and a lot going on.
Okay, great. And I'm drawn to the one with the balloons. It looks like it could be a bumpy ride, but I'm adventuresome, and so I'm just like, let's just go for it.
I knew you were going to pick that one.
Really?
Yes, I knew it. I knew it.
Very good. All right. So R stands for respect. And I think what happens a lot of times during the holiday season and even, during this time of COVID, some people around you may not be respecting your boundaries or honor what you would like in your life. And I want you guys to be able to respect your own boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to say, you know what, I need a break, and take things a little bit at a time. Take things in small doses. Anyone or anything that's negative, take it in small doses. The people that are supportive and have your back, hang out with them because they're positive in your life and they're going to promote you wanting to go forward in your journey. So does anyone have a situation that they think might come up where people won't respect their boundaries? Or maybe you're struggling with setting your own boundaries. Okay.
Well, I'll talk. What a shocker. I have something to say.
After you, Dawn.
I know. So this is definitely an area that's challenging for me. I have to be careful because I tend to kind of a people pleaser. I want to put other people first, and a lot of times I kind of overcommit myself, or sometimes I'll say yes to things that I don't really want to do. So my new trick is when people are trying to schedule things for the holidays, I've just been saying, you know what, I just need to check my calendar and I'll get back to you, but thank you for the invite and I'll let you know. And that way I have a little bit of time so I don't have to think right on my feet. Because I definitely struggle with that. So
That's a really good trick, because then you are postponing it and you're not disappointing people either.
right.
Yeah.
And then I'm not putting
That pressure.
extra pressure on myself, because then you say yes and then you have to figure out how to get out of it, and then that increases anxiety and so this will be something I definitely will be keeping in mind. Anybody else?
I agree. I kind of deal with the same thing. I think that, with work and with grad school, there's just a lot that I'm trying to make sure that I'm maintaining, and I do overcommit myself. And I've been keeping a planner just to make sure that I plan and everything's where it needs to be. This week alone has been a little bit hard for me because there's been instances where people are trying to confirm a time or an appointment, and I'm like, I don't have that down. And it turns out that they dropped the ball compared to me. And so it's just trying to make sure that like I'm managing everything I need to manage, spending time for myself, spending time with the people that I love, and just having people who are going to be able to understand my situation. Because I think that for people who may not be going through the whole grad school thing, they don't understand what that's like. And explaining it is just like, oh, you're just so busy. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, my time is very like we're making sure that like everybody's getting the proper amount of time, but certain people are kind of like on the back burner, and I feel bad about it, but again, I have to have those boundaries.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Kathleen?
Not really. I'm in a different situation just because I'm kind of 1,300 miles away from, but I ran away. So, you know,
We're coming to visit you then.
Okay. So, but what about with your friends and things of that nature?
actually, I am hosting the ladies that don't have anybody else.
Oh, I love that.
Good for you.
So there's a few of us who, for COVID, don't want to be with their family, or you know, family is far away. So we decided that we're going to do our own little Thanksgiving together.
Perfect. Perfect.
How fun.
Giving.
And that's kind of what this workshop is about too, finding alternatives, you know, because nothing's going to be the same this year. You know, we have our traditions, but we might have to tweak them or do things a little bit different. So wonderful. So we're going to move on to E for under the reindeer for experience. So a lot of times people try to stuff their emotions, and in order to not get stuck or stuck in your emotions, we need to be able to identify them and label them, and then to deal with them with different coping skills, and then create an environment or space that encourages you to heal. So let's say you're feeling really sad. What would be a coping skill that you could use to help you with the sadness you're feeling?
I try to watch something funny,
Mm-hmm.
a movie or stand up, something funny.
Okay. And that's interesting because your brain really doesn't know the difference between you experiencing something or you watching a movie. So you're going to get the same response. Or even if you have a positive idea, your brain is going to react to that positive idea. So we do have some control over it. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel sad, but there are ways to get out of it. So if you are a person that tends to kind of isolate when you're sad, you might want to allow yourself a half an hour to feel sad and then move on to a funny movie. Or if you're the type of person that avoids sadness, sit for a half an hour in your sadness and then go flutter around and do what you normally do. Because I find that people are like in two extremes with that. Mm-hmm. So another coping skill might be journaling. You know, that sadness is coming from somewhere. Maybe somebody's disappointed you. Maybe you're feeling isolated and alone throughout COVID and everything. So what would be some things that you guys have used as strategies for that loneliness that you're feeling through COVID? What have you guys done to kind of engage with people and activities?
Mine's not engaging with people as much as organizing and cleaning. It's like if I can have my surroundings in order,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel more in control.
Mm-hmm.
the situation that I came from was always very chaotic, and I never felt like I had control of it. So now that I'm by myself, I do feel that my environment has to be controlled.
Okay. And that gives you comfort.
Excuse me?
That gives you comfort knowing that everything's
Yes.
in order. Good.
Yes.
Good. When you step outside of like knowing everything that's going on in the world, does that still help with your home being organized and
Yes, because I have a good place to come back to.
perfect? Wonderful. Okay. So you're actually creating that space that encourages healing.
Yes.
Good. Does anybody else want to share? Okay, we can move on. Okay, invitations. We kind of touched base on that, but I'm going to put it out there. Like, if you're the hostess of something, how are you going to have a plan B? I just want you to think about that, Kathleen. And if you're going somewhere, what is your plan B? So it might be that you drive your own car if you're going somewhere. Or you tell someone, I'm only going to be able to stay for a half an hour, but I do want to join you for a little while. And if you stay for the whole thing, great. But you may not want to do that, you know, especially if you're feeling like, oh, I have this to do and that to do, and I really don't want to take time out. But then you get there and it's like, hey, I really need this. I need to have some time to myself. So why don't we just go around and everyone can kind of talk about, in general, it doesn't have to be about the holidays, things that they plan on doing or don't want to do, and what a possible plan B could be. I'm going to go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, goodness. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because I have a 6-year-old, so a lot of times he's my
He's your out. He's your plan B. I love it.
But you know, usually I really try to do something I feel like that I want to do for myself. So I just let them know, hey, I have just other obligations, or hey, you know, like she said, like I can be there for a little bit because I do want to support whatever you're doing, but you know, I want to make sure that whatever I need to do, that I kind of get involved in that as well without stressing myself.
Right. You don't want increased stress.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kathleen, do you have anything?
Now, in previous years, what I've done, and maybe it's the chicken's way out, is I've actually flown on Christmas Day so that I don't have to go to the big family gatherings. And then, you know, I come in later in the day, I see the people that I want to see.
Very good.
I love flying on Christmas Day.
I know, it's nice, isn't it? There's hardly
And it's cheap.
You're my girl. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Take negative situations in small doses. So that's not a chicken way. You're managing it. You know that I really don't want to do this, but I'm kind of obligated because it's family, and so you're managing it, taking them in small doses. And if your flight's late, oh, sorry.
But I don't hurt feelings either, because it's like, should I be going here or should I be going there? Well, I can't go either place, so that's just the way life is.
Good. Absolutely. How about you, Adeline?
So for the holidays, I have a very small family. Most of them are back in Puerto Rico. So here in Florida, I just have my mom and my sister. We just kind of eat together, don't really do much. But when you jump to this particular topic, I was thinking about graduation. You know, my plan has been to walk this stage. I've worked very, very hard. This is the last one. And so now I'm preparing myself for that not to happen. And so it's like, okay, well, what's plan B going to be? If I can't walk that stage, what am I going to do? So still thinking about it. Don't know what that plan B is, but I'm preparing myself for that loss in the event that it doesn't happen.
Right. So, yeah, and that's what a lot of the
So side note, we'll be happy to do that for you. We'll
We'll
have a
make a
graduation for you.
We will actually. I know the person to connect you with. Kathleen works for the women's club, and they have a stage there.
Oh, that would be fun.
My son didn't get to walk either, so we'll just do
We have the stairs to climb too. So you can climb up the stairs. You could have your mom present your diploma because she's so proud.
I love it. Look at the plan B coming together.
You like how we just go and take away? Sorry. And just start planning.
This is plan B.
I know, right? It's finally coming together.
And set boundaries. with
Yeah,
us.
now you're gonna have to tell us to butt out. It's okay.
You're so silly.
Aw.
So, yeah.
Anything you wanted to add, Caitlin?
I don't really have a situation. I usually just go to the things I'm invited to go to.
Do you want to go to those things?
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
I like going places.
We want your life.
Yes. So I have something, might be a little bit extreme or strange, but it could be helpful. So I sometimes get anxious if I'm going to be going to social things. And so I have a friend, and we have this code, and she knows if I text her a strawberry that she's supposed to call me and then I suddenly have to leave. So we sort of fake an emergency, but it's not really like a real emergency. It's just like, oh, I gotta go. There's been a change of plans. Thank you so much. And then I'm able to go. So that's a like, I don't know. I think it's important to have a plan B, whatever it is. If you're the kind of person that needs one,
Especially if you have anxiety, you know, large crowds and situations can make you very anxious. Who wants to be at a party or something where you're so anxious that all you want to do is run out of there, you know?
yes.
So it's important to have that plan B. So some of the things we were talking about was like possibly having a meal with family members that are out of town, maybe doing it through Zoom or something like that. Going to a park or a beach, you know, where you can have social distancing. Sometimes people volunteer. Now, I don't know how that's going to work this year, you know, handing out meals or doing something like that. So I'm sure it's all probably going to be like carry out or whatever, but there's people that have to put those things together. So there's all different kinds of things. If you can't, you know, that you can just kind of escape and do something for someone else, and you're actually receiving the reward too.
Tell me about the progressive dinner thing. You can make it in a little.
Yeah, we were talking about too, because we were just trying to come up with ideas like having a progressive dinner. So like, let's say your thing is to make some sort of pie, or you know, you make the best mashed potatoes or whatever. Everybody in the family or your group of friends, they make their specialty. And to keep it small crowds, let's say there's a lot of people, then only so many at a time can go, or they come to your house. Or
you can make so you make your thing, you put it in a small container, and then so everybody makes their thing, puts it in the individual containers, then you leave your containers outside, and so then Mary comes to my house and leaves her container of mac and cheese and picks up a container of my mashed potatoes. And then she goes to Adeline's house and picks up the sweet potatoes and drops off her mac and cheese. So it's like this whole to-go thing, but you still get to stop and like wave at people, but you know, limit the face-to-face contact.
I think because we're social people, I know, you know, everybody in this room is really, it seems like we're all kind of busy and everything, but we do need to have that balance of being social and getting done what we need to do.
Okay.
All righty. So here are a bunch of different pieces, and I want each of you to pick an item and identify what you see it to be. And what would be another purpose for that item?
So I think that I would choose second row, first picture, like those little wheels.
Uh-huh.
I'd probably make like a necklace or something out of it,
Okay.
or
Ooh,
like a charm for a book mark, something.
okay.
Hmm.
Very good. I love
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm the broken plate, and there's a Japanese theory that says that you put broken pieces back together and they're still beautiful and they're still art, and it just shows more humanity to the piece.
Okay.
So I go back to the Japanese theory of putting things back together again.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what those, I'm going, let's see, far right corner, those three silver things. I don't know what those are, but to me, they look like they need to be little creatures. Like I think I could put some, like a fluffy head and some pipe cleaner antlers, and I could make like little creatures out of those and have them like sitting out maybe on my porch or something.
You're very creative.
I'm weird. But thank you.
I'm kind of leaning towards the broken hammer. I think I would somehow put that on that stick and then hang it up and have it for a hook. I like hooks to put things on, like by my front door. Oh, here's where my keys go. This is
Oh.
where my purse goes, and that type of thing. How about you, Ashley?
I think I like the wooden board. I feel like there's so many things I could do. So I can either like do like a cute little painting on it, or because I'm one of those people that hate when people don't have a, what's it called for your cups?
Oh, like a
Oh,
coaster.
coaster.
Coaster. So I can like make little holes.
All of our OCDs coming out.
So they could put it all their drinks, because when my friends come over, they can never just have one cup. So all their 4 cups that they choose to have
Yeah.
can be on their personalized coaster
Cool.
that we created. So I like that.
Good. How about you, Caitlin?
I think that it would be cool to take the broken chair and like take the legs the rest of the way off and then like hang it as a shelf.
Oh.
Look at that.
Cool.
Okay.
So part of this is a lesson that just because something is broken, just because we're broken, doesn't mean we don't have purpose. Things can be repurposed for different things. This didn't happen during this exercise, but sometimes people want to jump in and help because we have a bunch of creative people. They didn't need help, but sometimes we have to ask for help when we're floundering and things like that. And sometimes when I've done this exercise, people don't want the help and they'll sit there and try and figure it out until they can, which is fine. But at that point, if they do want help, I have them ask for help. I'm pretty sure everyone here feels kind of uncomfortable in asking for help, but sometimes we need it. And that's all there is to it. I really like, Kathleen, how you were talking about just putting it back together, because sometimes we feel broken, but it doesn't mean that it's not beautiful. So you stole my moral of the story. No, that's good. I'm glad that you did that, because I've never had anyone do that. And that's exactly, what's going on. Sometimes we feel so broken. We feel like, how are we going to go on? And we can. It's just different.
Would you like to hear my other one?
Yes.
Okay. My other one is, you know how beautiful a Tibetan or an Oriental rug is that's handmade?
Mm-hmm.
So if you really go to the true theory of the rug, when people make those rugs by hand, and it takes days or weeks or months, if they get to the end of the rug and they have not made a mistake yet, they have to make a mistake, because no human can be perfect. So if you use that theory, I used to tell my students that all the time, because you know, it's expectations in a school setting are tough. And if you come to the point of realizing that no human can be perfect, I think the rug is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
If you take it, I mean, if you are in a setting that you can take it that far, you could say, you know, God's the only thing that's perfect.
Right. Beautiful.
But you can back down a step to make it a little more socially acceptable, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Right. That things aren't about being perfect. It's just about
Right.
being authentic, and we're all going to make mistakes. Yeah,
And sometimes they're beautiful mistakes.
they are.
Turns out better than you expected.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take one of those rugs.
Okay. All righty. So let's talk about new and old traditions. There's a handout that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and share it with everyone on the portal, or actually I'll probably just email it, and Kathleen, I'll go ahead and share that with you on the portal. So basically, because this is a different year and everything, I think we've kind of talked about the holidays, but what other traditions have you guys had to kind of rethink? Old things that you did. It doesn't have to be a tradition. It could be just something that you used to do and now you're having to find a different way to do it.
A lot of things have to be done virtually, so
Mm-hmm.
but you can, you know, you could FaceTime while you're trimming the tree or whatever. I mean, so I think the ability to you know, FaceTime or Zoom like this, I think that's really helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I do with my grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ava, she likes to walk around, and she's like, "Oh, Grammy, look at this, blah blah blah." We go all over the house, all outside. You know, we're all over the place. And then Mila likes to play these games that you have to take your head and catch things with. And so we play games and everything. So we've had to do it different. I mean, because I can't go up there. We're on the naughty list, as my daughter says. Floridians, because we have such a high rate. We're not allowed in New York. So, what else?
Well, feeding the homeless is more of an issue this year because in previous years, more places have opened up and provided dinner. So one of the groups that I'm in, what we're doing is we're providing food that is all going to be put into takeout containers and then just distributed to people. So it's not like they're going to be able to socially gather, but at least they will get a traditional meal.
And it's not really just about the meal either. It's about that human contact. Even though you can do it socially distanced and wearing a mask and all these things, you're still coming in contact. You know, I really believe we give off energy, and even if you can't see the smile on your face, you know, people can recognize that in your eyes and everything. So I think that's important.
Well, just to know that you thought about, I think is
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Ashley?
Trying to think. So I guess I just started it last year, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not really big on holiday traditions. So, because my family's everywhere, so I've done like a Friendsgiving. So I hate hosting because I hate the pressure. I'm like a party goer, not a party thrower. So
We need those. It's okay.
That's how I feel. But I took myself out of my comfort zone, and it was still stressful. But I think the reward of having my friends being there, it was nice. So I don't know how that's going to happen this year. So we'll see.
Maybe that progressive dinner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People just kind of an open house. Just kind of wander in and out and they bring something.
have something different.
Take something, leave something.
There.
Take one, leave one. Is that how that goes?
Yeah. The anxiety will definitely be down.
What about, I think something we could really get back to this year that I haven't done in a long time is actually sending out Christmas cards. And I don't think I want to do like a card, actually. I'm thinking of maybe getting some stationery and actually writing letters and sending them to two people. I don't know.
That's new.
It is. I think that's kind of a lost art. Is that what you say, Mary?
Yeah.
It's just, we don't communicate like that anymore. And it's so cool in the time of all this stress to open up your mailbox and you have something positive or somebody that's saying, hey, I'm thinking about you, or, you know, so.
Yeah.
So watch your mailboxes.
But I think this is a time too where people are going back to basics, and there's a reason why they were basics. You know, we've gotten so busy and we have so much technology that, and it's a good thing in this case, we can use it, but we have to get back to, you know, learning how to do things with our families and friends. And a lot of times people are so scattered all over the United States, you know, it's your friends, that's your community and everything. I was just watching something on TV and they were talking about how people are really investing in their homes and making their home nice because they're doing so much with their kids. And I think this is a good thing. You know, people are sitting down and having dinner together. Imagine that, you know, not going through a drive-through or a restaurant or something. So it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. So I guess, you know, the point is to just kind of think outside the box and don't worry about what you used to do. Find a new way to do it or figure out something else. Okay? Oh, that's the kind of list of the different things. So like I said, I'm going to email that out to everyone so that you can kind of sit down and say, okay, this is what I traditionally did, but this is what I'm going to do this year. All right, Dawn.
Okay, so we're getting to the second half of the workshop, and we're going to kind of focus a little bit on some different self-care techniques or things to keep in mind, because as we've been all sharing, things are really busy. So one of the main things that you want to make sure that you do is be sure to stay hydrated, drink lots of water. And I know that seems kind of like a no-brainer, but it's something that we do forget about. You get busy and you forget to drink. And it's super important. Stress and crying can cause dehydration. So we want to make sure that we not only stay hydrated, but if you can minimize caffeine. Caffeine is great. It gives us a little jolt, but it also increases anxiety. And then it, you know, your body will secrete different hormones, and it'll actually make you urinate more. So you will end up causing dehydration as well. And then alcohol, also remember, alcohol is ultimately a depressant. So when you first have a little bit of alcohol, you may feel that kind of that euphoric boost, but then after it settles, it can often cause depression. So just, you know, keeping those things in mind. A lot of times if you're feeling restless or even hungry, sometimes you think you're hungry, but you're really thirsty. And so it's important. I know there's a lot of rules out there, 8 glasses of water a day or this many whatevers. I just recommend trying to have water. Water's the best choice close by, and just constantly, you know, be sipping on something. So, and oh, here's my little, so cheers. Thank you. It is just water, I promise. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, let's see. Is this what
I wanted to add one more thing
sorry.
on dehydration too. It can cause you to feel lethargic.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're, it is really important to keep hydrating yourself and, constantly sipping on some water. I know it's kind of boring, but snazz it up some with lemon or lime or some other fruits. They sometimes put like, I've seen those things
strawberries. Yeah, the fruit infusers that are in the middle of that you kind of shove the fruit in the middle and it sort of like seeps through to the water. You can do that. You can put it in a fancy glass if you can drink it out of a wine glass or.
I have nothing but stemware at home.
Yeah, there you go. You can just do whatever. It really does make a difference to keep it, kind of keep it fun. So, and I know they have a lot of those things that you can add to your water. Just watch the sugar content, and then sometimes those fake sweeteners are not great for you either. So just water is great, but you can get creative.
Yeah.
So good. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Is this me?
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Oh, my favorite topic, eating. All right. So let's see. The slide says if you tend to not eat when under stress, then try to eat a small meal or a nutritious snack. So, if you let me just finish reading. Sorry. If you tend to overeat, have healthy snacks available. So it seems like people sort of fall into two categories. You have those people that can't stop eating when they're stressed, and then there's people that can't eat when they're stressed. So if you happen to be one of those people that is, your stress level goes up and you graze, then try to have good choices around because you're going to do it, right? So you want to have things that are on hand that are a little more healthy, and then kind of gauge that, I think, towards whatever your particular likings are. So if you like crunchy rather than a chips, potato chips or chips, maybe some carrots, because carrots are crunchy and they're better for you. And I know that's a stretch, but just work with me. It could work. You could dip it in some ranch, and that's not too terrible. And then if you are somebody who really doesn't eat a whole lot, then just make sure that you are getting some kind of, nutrients in. And if you don't eat a whole lot, then you want to try to remember that you need to get kind of a big bang for your buck. So try to choose something that's kind of high in calories, that's really gonna lots of protein that your body is really gonna benefit from.
So maybe like a smoothie or a yogurt that's high in protein.
Oh yeah, smoothies are great. That's a great idea. You can put all kinds. You can actually add the protein powder into those, and a lot of times it is a little bit easier on your digestive system.
And actually, that can go for overeating too. Instead of ice cream, make a really nice smoothie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Try to find creative ways to get your sweet tooth satisfied. Or like I said, if you are a crunchy person, popcorn isn't a terrible snack. They have a lot of those like Smart Pop and things like that.
Also that black and white popcorn.
Oh my gosh. Mary, you're not helping. So Mary has this fabulous popcorn that she's introduced me to. Thankfully, it's only available through the holidays, but it's popcorn drizzled with dark chocolate and white chocolate.
And it's salty too.
And it's just...
it melts in your mouth.
You're killing me, Mary.
I know.
You can almost taste it, can't you? It's delicious, I'm not going to lie. So on that note, avoiding high sugar and carbs.
Okay.
Again, what happens is the stress response gets evoked by whatever your triggers are. You feel like you need to have sugar or carbohydrates to counteract that. But then what happens is you get a crash. So the trick is, when you feel that, first of all, the best thing to do is to drink a glass of water, because that's going to give your body probably something it needs anyway. It's going to give you a minute to think before you just make an impulsive choice. And then if you need something, again, go for, high protein. What's great is peanut butter. Just don't eat the whole jar like me, but just, a little scoop of peanut butter is a great snack for those kinds of things. And if you can wait, if you can push through that, so stress response happens, we drink our water and you're craving, you're like, I need something sweet. I want it. If you just can, it's only a matter of minutes. If you can push through that, it will go away. But I know that it's very difficult. I struggle with that as well. So, but yeah. And I think in the packet, did we include, I think, some foods that help to combat depression and anxiety? If it's not in there, then we'll make sure we get it to you.
we get it to you. It's not. Yeah.
Just some things that you can, that you can choose that are actually calming or can help to kind of stabilize your blood sugar, which is going to help you not feel like you're kind of doing the waves and the dips.
So wasn't cashews one of them for depression, I want to say?
I think so. Yeah. I think it was one of those that is a mood. It's either cashews or pistachios. Mm-hmm. Something is like a mood elevator. Those nuts, and it probably has to do with the protein that's in there. So we'll get that to you guys. But that's helpful just to sort of keep in mind as, when you do have to make a choice, maybe you could pick something that's kind of, again, like a double benefit. So
one of the things that we've been kind of learning about with our supplements and everything is that a lot of the depression and anxiety is due to diet. Mm-hmm. And we're missing nutrients. And part of the reason we're missing nutrients is because we need the probiotics. So that increases absorption. It also, of nutrients and other vitamins that we're lacking, because so many foods are processed. We really don't know what we're eating, to be quite honest. And so that may even be a contributor to a lot of anxiety and depression that we're seeing.
Right. And then also, thank you for that reminder. The probiotics are super important too, because your serotonin, this is my serotonin commercial. The serotonin that your body makes, so 75 to 80% of serotonin, and serotonin is your mood neurotransmitter. So that helps with depression and anxiety. So you would think if it's a neurotransmitter, it comes from your brain, right? But 80% of that actually comes from your gut. So if that's true, if we have a healthy gut, then our body's going to create, not only create more serotonin, but help you be able to really metabolize and utilize that, because that's kind of where you get the building blocks to create your own serotonin. So super important. If you get a probiotic, it needs to be live. So what does that mean? You need to get it in the refrigerated department, because if it's sitting on the shelf at CVS, it's not live, even though it says it is. They're lying. It's not true. So get it out of the refrigerated department, or you can talk to Mary and I. We can give you some resources and connections on that. But super, super important. So anybody want to add anything?
So I have one thing I do want to add, because this happens with me. I'm one of those people that when I am under stress, I do tend to eat less. And what I have found helpful is that if I set alarms on my phone to remind me to eat and drink, that's like super helpful, because when you're stressed, you're not thinking, oh, I should have some water. Oh, I should eat. So when I'm able to like set those alarms on my phone and they pop up, I'm like, oh, have I eaten today? Have I drank water? Let me do that if I haven't.
Yeah, isn't there, Adlin, I think there's even a water drinker reminder app on your phone.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's this little guy that pops up and tells you that it's time to drink.
That's so cute. Yeah, I have no idea about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ignore him, but you shouldn't do that. It's so rude. But it is a really good reminder, because you're absolutely right. That's a great tip. Because we do. I mean, you get through the day and you're like, man, I haven't eaten, or I'm so thirsty. So, yeah.
And it impacts your mood.
Oh, definitely. Mary has guys experienced that when I get hangry. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, exercise. Okay, so you know, it's about to be January, and I don't know what's going to happen because of COVID, but you know, all the gyms are already ramping up for New Year's resolutions. You got to go to the gym and work out and exercise. But I think what's important to remember is that any kind of movement is good movement. Any kind of it doesn't matter if you're just challenging yourself to have to walk across the room to get your cell phone instead of keeping it close to you. You will be so surprised how just increasing just your general movement really helps. So, you know, the slide mentions go outside, take the time to reflect, take a short walk, but even activities like gardening, mowing the grass, you know, those are all things. Did you know vacuuming counts as exercise? And it really does. You burn a lot of calories. So
What are some fun things though?
dancing.
Oh,
Dancing
yeah.
is so fun. And you'll we're gonna dance at the end of the no, I'm just kidding. There's no dance party at the end. I know you're sad. We'll do that another time. But you're right, Mare. Just like when this is something else that can help when you're feeling kind of sad or down. Find your favorite song and put it on and just jam out, you know, dance around. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just about moving, and it feels so good because you can actually shake out your anxiety. It will literally lower your stress level. So because when you're anxious, you know, we tend to tense up and we hold everything. When you're shaking and moving around, it literally lowers your stress. So that's a fun thing. Like sneaking in exercise that doesn't really feel like exercise. If you like to do any kind of sports, that's not me, but some people might like that, you know, basketball, roller skating. Again, not me, but
Bicycling.
oh yeah, riding your bicycle, that's good. I've just been walking, and it doesn't even have to be fast, crazy, you know, speed walking. It's just after you work all day, or you go to school, or you are a mom, or you do all three. It's just really good to, you know, get outside, see the sky, get some vitamin D, some fresh air, and just kind of just move around a little bit. It's really, really helpful. It will definitely help lower your anxiety. So, trying to think if there's anything else. Tons of things available on YouTube about different videos, different exercise videos for all different fitness levels. So there's chair yoga. There's some morning stretches. So tons of options. Again, if you need any ideas, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help.
And it's amazing by just doing a few little stretches how different you can feel just from that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of us, we sit a lot of the time, and just to do a few little stretches, and it just makes a world of difference. It gives you more energy and flexibility and all those things. So,
well, yeah, and maybe kind of piggybacking off Adlin's idea about setting the alarm for maybe, you know, fluid and food and fluid. What about, you know, maybe we need to set an alarm every once in a while just to stand up out of your chair and, you know, roll your shoulders, roll your neck, just kind of move around a little bit, because we do.
mm-hmm.
We're very
My watch
sedentary.
reminds me to do all these things, and like you, Dawn, I ignore it.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, breathe. Oh, time to actually, it says time to stand right now, and I'm like, we'll do
Okay,
that.
well, stand up, Adeline. Be a good example to everybody.
Adlin, I actually yelled at my watch yesterday. I was super stressed, and it went off and said it's time to stand up. And I've said to it a few choice words, which I won't say on here because it's G-rated. But I feel you. It's yeah. So, but I need to do better. So
Yeah, same. We'll get better at it.
anything,
Goals.
Kathleen? Did you have something you wanted to say and I talked over you?
No, I just had to readjust.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No problem. You're just moving
Sitting.
around.
Right.
I know, sitting too long.
All right. Okay, we'll move it along here. Oh, well, here we go. How about rest? Rest is super, super important. This is, people will tell me, oh, but I sleep 8 hours or I sleep 10 hours. Yeah, but what's the quality of your sleep? So it's really important to make sure that you kind of have a bedtime routine. The fancy word for this is sleep hygiene, which seems weird to me. So bedtime routine works better, but you want to always, as you are preparing for sleep, it's important to give yourself time to wind down because we've been busy all day. Your mind is racing. There's, a lot of things going on. And what will happen is your body will start to learn these cues and it will say, oh, we must be getting ready to lay down and go to sleep. And it really is very helpful. So some things that you may want to do, reading a few minutes before bed, preferably an actual book, because don't forget that when you are using your phone, the light on your phone actually shuts off your melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, and tells your brain, oh, it's time to wake up. So if you are one of those people that wakes up when you can't sleep and will go on Facebook or TikTok or, whatever, that's one of the worst things you can do because you will, further kind of shut off the sleeping hormone. You can also meditate or maybe just pray and have some quiet time. Listening to music is very good. And then just taking some time for personal reflection. So maybe if you want to, jot a few thoughts down, really helpful for those of you that have anxiety and racing thoughts. Nighttime is, and depression, nighttime can be challenging for us because the world gets quiet and you can feel really, really alone. So one of the things that's helpful is maybe to just have a little pad of paper and a pen at your bedside so that when you start thinking about your to-do list, you won't have to hold it in your brain. You can actually write it down and get it from here onto paper. There's actually science behind that. When you verbalize a thought that's in your mind or you write it down, it changes the lobe in your brain that the information is being stored and makes it less powerful. It doesn't have as, such a strong hold. So,
another piece of that too is it slows your brain down because you cannot write as fast as your brain's going, really fast. And when you write, it slows your brain down too. So that's another piece of it.
Does anyone have any tips that you want to add or share with me about bedtime routines? Anybody found a really good, maybe like an herbal tea or something that helps calm, or anything you want to share?
I use the Calm app. It's on the phone, and I know I do flip it over so that there isn't light in the room, but
Okay.
it gives you meditations, and I like the sleep stories. I like a so I listen to stories because it makes, and I like the travel ones because I put myself on the train or in the place that it is, and if I'm there, then I can't be thinking about other stuff.
That's great.
But I love that Calm app. I use it every night.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
And all of these things around rest too, you can do it during the day. A lot of times, when I've been running from one client to the next, and let's say I have 10 minutes, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I've noticed even setting my alarm for 5 minutes and doing a meditation or listening to music or just closing my eyes and shutting my brain down, I feel like I had a nap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really something that you can do throughout the day too. It's not just at bedtime. Sometimes we just need mental breaks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've gotten caught before on my couch resting my eyes. That's okay. It's my self-care.
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
two different like go-tos. One of them is very similar to the Calm app. It's actually called Sound Sleeper. And you can kind of create your own ambient noises. So if you like rain, you can do that. If you like city noise, you can do that. So I use that quite often just to kind of fall asleep to the sound of rain. But the other thing I like to do is sometimes I'll use my diffuser. I'm very big on like aromatherapy. So I'll like put my diffuser on and I'll be like, oh, it smells good in here. That it's setting the tone. So those are my go-to.
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I'm a big essential oil girl.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Ashley? Because I know you have a small child. What do you do to kind of take those little mental breaks?
So for me, it just recently happened where I realized the reason why I'm not able to sleep is because my mind wanders. So what I try to do is I look at the things that's making my mind wandering and try to like target it so I can rest. So for example, I'm laying in bed, and even if my son's asleep, I still can't go to bed. And I'm just like, why? And it's just because I feel like I haven't done this. I need to do that. I got to get him ready. I got to do that. So what I do is I just write everything down. So I'm setting myself up for success the next day. Or if I know that I'm not a morning person, so I know, let me just make the breakfast now. Let me just take the clothes out for him. My son and I, we go back and forth a lot. So we have an agreement. If I read him a story at night, you're going to sleep. There's no arguing. And it's been working. So a lot of the things that have kept me up or give me anxiety, I try to target it. And then, believe it or not, I sleep like a baby. Once everything's done, I'm like, oh, okay. I try to turn on TV and I don't watch it.
Good.
Oh, these are, okay, so this is kind of a self-care assessment, and it's broken down. I've used this for grief, so some of it is grief targeted, but it could be anxiety or depression. And so it's kind of like, oh, I frequently do this, I sometimes do it, I rarely do this. Oh, this is a new idea, and oh, no, it's never. And then there's a new idea or thought. So this might be some things. Usually what I tell people is maybe to pick one thing in each category, or if that's too overwhelming, then just pick one thing and then just keep rotating until you've added something into your self-care plan. And it's, we're broken down into basically, our physical care, our cognitive care, our emotional and spiritual. And spiritual doesn't mean religion. This is more about, what's feeding your spirit, your soul, whatever terminology that you want to use. That could be doing something you enjoy, like painting, or I don't know.
Being in nature. Walk on the beach.
Yeah. So it's really important to feed yourself, not only physically, but spiritually. We talk about food a lot, don't we? Eat! No.
Okay. So this is about survival through the pandemic, holiday season, life, and self-care. And
so what I want you guys to do, and we'll do it too, is think of 3 things that you want to give to yourself through this season. So it could actually be a gift. It could be that you want to improve on your sleep. It could be anything, but something that would require you being gentle on yourself and loving and caring to yourself. So like I have on here, set boundaries. Also, that could be a gift to yourself. Recognize some of your achievements.
Allow yourself to rest. we often feel like we're doing something wrong if we're not doing something every second of the day. I think also kind of while you guys are sort of pondering that, I think we have this, many of us have this backwards, this whole concept of self-care. We think, well, I need to take care of everybody else first, and then whatever's left, then I can take care of me. But what happens is many of us, you know, I always picture like kind of a pyramid, you know, and we're the ones at the bottom of the pyramid holding it up, and then, you know, stacked up on top of that is, you know, friends and family and responsibilities. And so if the foundation of the pyramid, which is you, is not taken care of, then you're going to drop it and everything's going to crumble, and it's not going to go well. So the trick is to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of everyone else more effectively. And I know that's a really difficult concept sometimes to sort of allow yourself to accept. But it's really life changing if you can try to embrace that, even just baby steps, just something very small every day, some kind of gift to yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes of deep breathing or listening to your favorite song, or just something really simple.
So who wants to go first?
We have to name, there's 3.
Yeah. I can go first. One of the things I was thinking about doing is having more fun. Setting aside that time to do something adventuresome, something that just gets my adrenaline going. Not necessarily adrenaline. Is it adrenaline? I don't know, just something that's exciting that maybe I haven't done.
Outside of the norm.
Outside
like
of
the
norm.
regular routine.
Yeah. Spending more time with friends. I can't think of the third one. I'll come back to that.
Oh.
Can I have help? Somebody help me.
Do you want help? Are you ready for help?
I'm ready for help.
Okay, then your third one is going to be you need to rest more.
Yeah.
You don't rest enough.
Okay.
You don't rest enough.
Was that her helping you or telling you what to do?
Isn't it the same?
How do we do this?
You're gonna rest and you're gonna like it.
Oh my
Jess,
I know. I love it when she tells me, I'm going to hold you accountable to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. I don't remember what it was, but it was this past week.
That's me practicing boundaries.
I know.
See, that's one of the things.
Yeah, you're practicing my boundaries.
Yeah. Well, I can't do it myself, so I do it for everyone else. So
And laugh more.
Yeah. So definitely I'm going to work on trying to sort of prioritize and put some boundaries in place. I would like to exercise more. I'm trying to incorporate exercise, but I just can't seem to get it I just want it to be a habit. Just, you know, I wake up, I exercise, bam, like something I don't really have to work at so much. So I'm going to that's a goal I've set for myself. I'm going to keep working on that one. And then I think that it would be really good for me to downshift. I'm pretty intense. So I'd like to take a step back and just try to be in the moment more.
Okay.
I'll go.
Okay.
So my first one is to prioritize what's important. I already prioritize, but I think sometimes I kind of get caught up and I need to really just prioritize what's important. The second one would be to practice more meditation, or at least more breathing techniques. And then the last one is to travel.
Ooh. Do you have any places in mind?
Everywhere I have not been thus far.
Oh,
So not really, but yeah, I want to go everywhere.
okay. Well, that makes it easy.
But a lot of people have that goal, and because of the pandemic, they haven't been able to do it. So my suggestion is to find something that's similar so that you can have that similar experience. So it's not like, oh, I'm not doing what I want to do. Last weekend, we went away to a winery and we stayed at a bed and breakfast. And, you know, we had talked about going to Napa Valley before. Well, that's not possible right now. So we drove to Georgia and we had a really nice time. We were out in the middle of nowhere and we just really, it was a really good experience. I mean, we went to this farm and they had like a corn maze, and we noticed none of these kids were on their cell phones or their parents, and they weren't saying they were bored. They were having a good time.
Everyone was really engaged.
Yeah.
It was,
so it was really
weird, but in a good way.
Yeah. So, you know, those are the things that you can do, is just kind of change it up. I know we all want to go to some of these really big places, but it's just not possible right now because Florida's on the naughty list.
We broke the rules. We crossed the state line.
Okay.
We were very quiet. No, we weren't.
No. Okay. Did you want to share, Caitlin?
Sure. I had an idea when Dawn was talking about how we like think about self-care kind of backwards. I thought about how when you're on an airplane and they're doing the like safety talk, they're talking about like if the masks come down because the cabin pressure changes, to put your own mask on before assisting others. And I always thought that was weird. And like if you were a parent, you would want to put the mask on your kid first, but you have to put your own mask on because if you're not getting oxygen, then you're not going to be able to breathe to put anybody else's mask on. So I feel like it's the same in self-care. You have to like do stuff for yourself so that you can like be able to help.
Absolutely. That is a perfect example.
But so that would be one of my things, to focus on doing more self-care. And then my sleep, focus on getting that better.
Okay.
And exercising more.
All right. Wonderful. Nice job.
How about you, Kathleen?
I'm still trying to set myself on a schedule to walk because I'm a real schedule person. So if I can get to the point that it's part of the schedule, then I'll do it.
Yes.
You know, I have a list of stupid things that I'm supposed to do in the house, and once they go on the list, I want to do it because I want to cross them out. Sometimes I write them after I've done them just so that I can cross them out and feel good.
Such a good feeling, like, yeah, so satisfying.
So my friend from college, and I feel like I'm in a different place because a lot of times I'm looking for things to do. I'm retired. I'm old. So I decided on my birthday, I turned 66 and she's a friend from college, so she turned 66. So I said we should travel Route 66.
Oh.
And because one of my goals in life is to do all 50 states.
Okay.
So I thought Route 66 would be good for me because I'm an East Coast person and I haven't done that much mid-country or West Coast. So we're trying to figure out if that's doable in this virus time.
That's exciting.
I like
Keep
that.
us posted on that.
Well, it is, but it's like I'm afraid to let myself get too excited because my daughter and I were supposed to do Scotland, England, and Paris in May. And we did all the planning and all the, you know, Airbnbs and train rides and everything. And then everything had to be canceled. And let me tell you, it was fun doing it. It wasn't fun canceling it. and trying to get money back.
Right.
Well, it sounds like, though, that you would have more control over it anyway because you're driving in your car. And
Well, that's what we figure.
yeah. So you may not run into all those obstacles that you had, with trying to, the other trip that you had planned.
Yeah, but do we dare drive with a Florida and Georgia license plate to these places? He's from Georgia, I'm from Florida. Neither state is very,
Get a fake license plate.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
Rent a car.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm sure we can find someone that can help you out with a license plate. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's a, we're having fun talking about it.
Absolutely. And those are the things that have to, that help to keep you going. Yeah. Okay. How about you, Ashley?
I would have to say to speak up more, I guess. Sometimes it's the same, like I need to set my boundaries and really make sure that I can fulfill everything before adding on to my plate. Saying thank you more to myself. It's so easy to say I love you and thank you to others, and I don't think I do it enough for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that. And
How would you do that? Would you do something like, would you write it down, text yourself? I think there should be a way to kind of acknowledge that. And
yeah, I think, the way I feel like I would do with a spouse is the way I would do it to myself. So maybe enjoying a dinner, on my own, and not being afraid to get the expensive thing on the menu.
Right.
why don't we do that as women? It's like, I really want this, but I'm going to go with it.
Or, really, and that's another thing is being comfortable alone with myself, and I feel like that's how I can start saying things, going to the movies, buying the cute dress, taking a walk, just really kind of enjoying that alone time and appreciating, not just feeling like I have to do it, but wow, this feels nice. Mm-hmm. So, but I'll work on that. How do you really say thank you other than maybe just write me a little love note to myself?
There you go. I am just awesome. You take care of everything. I'm so appreciative of that.
You're just amazing. Keep going.
Yes. You should, and you should put those around, put them in your closet, in your car, and on your mirror.
Yes.
Yes, I'm speaking from experience. You have to tell yourself how wonderful you are.
I agree.
So we've heard from everybody, right?
I think so.
So that's just a recap of what we went over and everything. I hope that you were able to take something away from this. If nothing else, it's the Mary and Dawn comedy show. So
yeah, we'll be back live next Saturday.
No, we won't.
We won't. We won't.
So I just had something that I wrote down that I just want to read to you. So we're all looking for hope for the future, and some things, it's just unsettling. So hope can still be found in times of turmoil and uncertainty. Think back over your life. There has been pain, disappointment, and loss. During those times, you thought you were not strong enough and that you couldn't make it through. Yet, here you are, you're standing. And because we are resilient and innate strength, we fight. Change is always unsettling when it is negative. But don't forget, there's change that is positive. Love, joy, peace, which gives us hope. We can overcome anything. Don't focus on the negative experiences. Reminisce about how you overcame and how unexpected blessings came out of your sorrow and fear. Faith and fear cannot coexist. We can still dream. We may have to change how we are going to get there or make alterations to our plans, but we already do that in life. It's good to make changes, and that can be even better than our original plans. I would like for each of you, one at a time, read the statement below. I don't have it up on the screen, but I will embrace change I am thankful for, which gives me hope for the future. Let me type that up there real quick. How do I do that?
You can put it in the, can you put it in the chat
Yeah,
for everyone to see?
not while you're sharing this.
Okay, so unshare it.
So the red stop share.
And then now you can put it in the chat box.
Where's that? Okay.
A little bubble. Perfect. And then if you type it right there, it's going to go to everyone.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I will embrace change. Hold, please.
Oh, we're doing updates.
Hey, we're back.
Okay. I'll start. I will embrace change. I'm thankful for being resilient and strong, which gives me hope for the future.
My turn?
Sure.
I will embrace change. I am thankful for my family, which gives me hope for the future.
You have anything, Caitlin?
I'm just also going to say family.
That's okay.
Whoa.
I will embrace change. I am thankful for my family, which gives me hope for the future.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, that's okay. Are you ready, Ashley?
No.
How about you, Kathleen?
No.
Okay. Are you guys just not ready to embrace change, or you can't? Think of something positive that's happened in your life and how that situation has brought you through.
Okay, I will embrace change. I'm thankful for new experiences, which gives me hope for the future.
I just don't know, like, I had like a really good year, so I don't know how to like.
Well, what are the things that you're thankful for? Because that's all change. When you're having really good, that's the whole point, is when you're having really good experiences, that's change too. We just don't like the bad
Okay.
experiences.
I will embrace change. I am thankful for being optimistic in no matter what scenario. And I don't have the thing.
And that gives you hope.
And that gives me hope for the future.
There you go. Kathleen, I know you have something.
Okay. I am thankful for being in this place, which gives me hope for the future.
Wonderful. Beautiful. You know, I'm just so happy that you guys attended, and I hope that you received something from this workshop, and we're all going to make it through. We don't have a choice. So we can either embrace and think about the good things that this has brought us through, like families being more engaged with each other, and friends, and checking on us, and those types of things, because that's what's going to get us through all this. All this chaos can be going on, but we have to just go to our roots, and we've all been through some stuff. We don't have time to go into that, but we have all been through many, many things. And there's other things to come, and we're going to get through it. We can do it. I wish you all were here. We could high five.
Yes.
Hugs. There you go. You guys are great. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Go do something fun.
Yeah.
Or just relax. Do something for you.
Eat, drink water, and rest.
Yes.
right.
right, so we'll send out an email
Mhm.
with links and suggestions and things that you guys brought up, like a recap kind of.
Yeah.
So you'll have it to,
Okay.
to reflect upon.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.